Okay, so I have shared my screen. You'll be able to see that in a few seconds. Okay, so Mika, let's start off with this question. Okay, yesterday we discussed this, but I wanted to talk about it again, okay? Because we only discussed first two parts. Okay, now the curve C with the equation y equals f of x is shown in figure 4. Okay, so this is a curve, we can see that. The curve C, so we have some properties of curve C. It has a single turning point. Well, that is very obvious. This is the only turning point of the curve. And that turning point is a maximum point with these coordinates, right? So x is 4 and y is 9. This crosses the coordinate axis at only two places. Okay, so it is basically touching the x-axis at -3, 0 and the y-axis at 0, 6, and has a single asymptote with equation y equals 4. Okay, that is obvious. First part is state the equation of the asymptote to the curve with equation y equals f of -x. Everything would be same. The only difference is that this time we have -x. So you told me yesterday that whenever we have -x, our graph would be flipped. Perfect. That is 100% correct. So just imagine if this curve is flipped on the other side, and if I print it on the left hand side, what am I going to get? I would get the same thing. Let me just try drawing it nicely. Okay, so I am going to get the same type of thing. There's something of this type, right? Some exact same thing, but on the left side. And this point is telling us that still y equals 4 would be the asymptote. So the equation would be y equals 4. Anything that you have not understood so far?
No, Mrs. I get it.
Okay. The second part. State the coordinates of the turning point on the curve with equation y equals f of x by 4. This time around, nothing is going to change. Our turning point would still be 4, 9. But the fact that this time we have x by 4, in order to get 4, 9, we must have 16 instead of x, because 16 divided by 4 will give me 4, right? So think about it this way. Since we have x by 4, we will multiply this value 4 times, because now I have 1 by 4x. 1 by 4x means if I will have 16 equals x, only then I will get 4, and 9 would stay same because we are not doing anything with y. Okay, so the points would be 16 and 9. Okay, clear so far?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. So let's talk about this. Okay, see, given that the line with equation y equals k, first thing is first, how would the line y equals k look like? It would be a horizontal line, right? It would be a horizontal line of this type. But let's see what the question is. So far, we have just read y equals k, and we know that it is going to be a horizontal line. But what exactly are we doing with that line? So, given that the line y equals k, where k is a constant, intersects C. C is the curve at exactly one point. State the possible values for k. Okay. Now, C is the curve which we have been discussing, this curve on figure 4. And they want us to find a line with y equals k such that this line intersects this curve at one point only. So, can you guess?
Anything less than y is equal to 4?
Very well done. Excellent. Very good. So, okay, less than 4. If this would be the line, even still the intersecting point would be 1, because they claim y equals 4 to be the asymptote, and we know
Asymptote,
that,
yeah.
yeah, so that would also be included, right? So y less than equal to 4, any line over here would cut the graph at one point only. That's it, right?
No, and the turning point as well, I think.
Excellent, very good. Yes, because if we have a line at this point, that is y equals 9, even then our line y equals 9 and the curve would intersect at one point only. So the answer would be, the answer would be y equal, no, we will not write down y, obviously, that is for our understanding. The question is to state the possible values of k. So k would be 9, or k would be less than equal to 4, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Um, right. Let's talk about the D part then. The curve C is transformed to a new curve that passes through origin. Okay. The curve which we already have, it was not passing through origin. Let me just rub all this. It was not passing through origin, but now the curve has been transformed in such a way that it is passing through origin. Given that the new curve has equation y equals f of x minus a, state the value of the constant a. Okay, so think about this. Whenever we subtract something with the function, or basically with y equals something, our graph moves these many units down, right? Do you know this concept? For example,
Yeah, yeah. If it's
okay,
outside the f of x, then
yeah,
if it's positive,
exactly,
it's up. If it's down, it's
exactly.
negative.
Excellent. Okay, so it is negative, it means it will move down. And in order to transform the curve such that it passes through the origin, we need to move this point to this point, that is the origin. So this is positive 6. We need to come 6 units down. That is why we have minus a. This means a would be 6, because the same curve with y equals f of x minus 6, y equals f of x minus 6 will take this graph 6 units down, and this point then would be at the origin, right?
Yes.
So this means that the value of a would be 6 and positive 6, not negative 6, because we already have negative sign here. Okay. And the second part, write down an equation for another single transformation of C that also passes through origin. Okay, this was one way of transforming the curve. Now they want us to transform the curve in another way, but the concept is same. Again, it should pass through the origin. So let's look at our curve. Okay. Initially, we played with this. In fact, they played with this, and we want another transformation. So this is the only point which we can play with. We can move this point 3 units to the right, just so this point is cutting the curve at origin, right? This point passes through origin. So how do we move our graph 3 units right? By doing what?
By
Mm-hmm.
adding 3 inside the function.
Subtracting 3. Okay, it is other way around. We have to subtract 3 for this.
Oh, yes, yes. Sorry, I
Okay,
forgot.
yeah. So it is y equals f of x minus 3, because this way, whenever we are subtracting something, our graph will move 3 units or whatever units we are subtracting to the right side. So anything that you have not understood in this question, this was a very good question, I would say. And yesterday we were not able to discuss it properly, but today I wanted to talk about it nicely. So is this understood?
Yes.
Any other thing which you would like to ask about this concept or stuff like that?
Um. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, Miss, I just want to confirm. So, inside the function, yeah, when there's a change,
Mm-hmm.
You multiply the x with the reciprocal of the of the coefficient, right?
Okay, 1 by 4, you are talking about the this part, like this type of
Yeah,
a
yeah.
change?
So
Yes,
yeah, for
okay.
example, if it was 1/3, so would you do 3 times 4 then?
Yes, 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 exactly. And try thinking about the concept. Why is it like that? Because our turning point still would be 4, 9, but in order to get 4 here, you need to multiply 1 by 4 with 16. And if it was 1 by 3x, in order to get 4 here, you need to multiply it with 12. So x would be 12 in that case, right? This is why we
Yes.
multiply.
Okay. And let's say if it was 2x, so then you would make it half, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes, very good.
Yes, okay, that's it.
Okay, well done. Let's talk about the ninth question. Okay, so what do we have? Okay, the equation, this, whatever the equation is, where c is a constant, we have c in it, has no real roots. Okay, find the range of possible values of c. Okay, now this is a question and we have no clue because whenever we have range means that there should be some inequality, right? So the question is not about solving this or doing it that way. You need to first make some inequality by using whatever they have told you and then find the values of c through that range. Okay, they have told you that this equation right here has no real roots, and although we know how to solve linear equations, quadratic equations, cubic equations, but still the concept of no real roots is only seen in quadratic equations, that we say that the discriminant, that is b square minus 4ac, is less than 0, right? Do you agree?
Yes.
And this equation apparently does not look like a quadratic equation. So we need to do something just so it becomes a quadratic equation. And what that something would be just simplifying this, and you will see automatically this would become a quadratic equation. So this
Yes.
is 3 by x plus 5 minus 2x plus c. Okay, I'll take LCM and I will have x 3 plus 5. And steps are important because this is a 7-mark question, right?
Yes.
5x equals minus 2x plus c. Okay, now I can take this x to the right side. This is 3 plus 5x equals minus 2 x square plus cx. Okay, now I'll just transform it a bit. It would be 2x square plus 5x
Minus, yeah.
minus cx plus 3 equals 0. And I need to just find my ABC just so I can use this concept. So it is 2x square. I will take x common just so I have my b, because b is the coefficient of x, equals 0. Okay, now a is the coefficient of x square, that is 2. B is the coefficient of x, that is 5 minus c. And c is 3, right? Any confusion so far?
No, miss.
Okay, perfect. So now we have to use the concept. Now this is our quadratic equation. And since this equation does not have any real root, it means that the discriminant would be less than 0. So b square minus 4ac would be less than 0. What is b? B is 5 minus c square minus 4 into 2 into 3 less than 0. And this is turning out to be 5 minus c square less than 24. Sorry, it would be 24. Just give me a second. Okay. So it would be 24. Okay. And Mikal, how do we solve inequalities?
So we would square root both sides.
Okay. So this way I will get 5 minus c less than plus minus under root 24.
Yes.
Okay, you are right and wrong. Like, yes, your concept is right, but look. Okay, let's continue with this. Okay, so this
Okay.
way I am getting 5 plus under root 24 less than c, and I am getting 5 minus under root 24 less than c, right? And this does not make sense. The fact that c is greater than this value and again c is greater than this value, this does not make sense, right? We need a range, and these two ranges are not satisfying each other. This,
Yeah.
if we talk about it in number line, let's say that this is 5 minus under root 24, and this is 5 plus under root 24. So this range is telling us that 5 is greater than this, c is greater than this, and then the other one is telling us that it is this, right? So this is not right. We need to work about it. We need to do something about
Okay.
this. So we have to change the sign of inequality, okay? So this means that, yes, you were correct. Obviously, we need to get rid of the square, and for that we will take a square root, but we need to change sign as well. So we write it this way.
Okay.
5 minus c is less than under root 24, and 5 minus c is greater than minus under root 24, right? Obviously, this would make sense that this is a big number. If 5 can be less than this, and 5 minus c can be less than this, and 5 minus c can be greater than this, right? But it cannot hold other way around, right? Because this is a small number, this term can be greater than this, and this term can be less than this, right? Did you
Yes.
understand this? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So 5 minus under root 24 is less than c, and 5 plus under root 24. Okay. So we can just combine these two. C is greater than 5 minus under root 24, and c is less than 5 plus under root 24. Also, you can write down under root 24 as 2 root 6. 5 minus 2 root 6 less than c, less than 5 plus 2 root 6. Okay, so this would be the answer. Now, in this question, as soon as we came across this word, you should immediately think about some inequalities, because you only get range when there's an inequality, right? And obviously, we had to make up our own inequality using this concept. And the only concept about no real roots comes from this thing, that discriminant would be less than 0. So we had to find A, B, C, insert in this inequality, and we got the range for C. So did you understand this question?
Yes.
Anything that you would like to ask?
I don't think so.
Okay. So let's talk about the 10th question. Okay. This is the 10th question. A sector AOB. Do you know what sector is? This is your circle.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a piece of the circle.
Yeah, pizza type of a thing. Pizza slice or
Yeah.
cake slice, whatever you call it. Okay. And let's say this is theta. Okay. A sector AOB of a circle with center O has radius r centimeters and angle theta radians. Okay, so we have been told that the angle is theta radians. This is important. Given that the area of the sector is 6 centimeters square and that the perimeter of the sector is 10 centimeters, show that we have this. Okay, forget about how to get this. Let's use whatever we have been told and see if we can get this or not. So let's use this. First, area of sector basically would be theta over 2 pi. Why 2 pi and why not 360? Because theta is in radians. Whenever our theta is in radians, we divide it by 2 pi. If it is in degrees, we divide it by 360. Multiplied by pi r square, and this is equal to 6. We have been told, okay? So pi and pi would be cancelled and theta r square equals, I can take this 2 to the other side and this would be 12. So this is one equation which we are getting. Did you understand this equation?
Yes, yes, I did.
Okay. And that the perimeter of the sector. So what would be the parameter?
It would be what is the food? It was a radius times the theta.
Okay. So it
This is
would be
plus
radius plus radius. It would be this radius, and this arc length. Okay, and how do we find arc length? By r theta. Do you know that
yes.
formula r theta?
Yeah.
Okay, and this equals 10. Okay, now we are getting 2r plus r theta equals 10. So these are my these are my two equations which I need to use in order to get this. So if I try solving these two equations simultaneously, what I can do is I can just make theta r the subject. So I am going to get 2 plus theta equals 10, and r is 10 divided by 2 plus theta. Okay, this is r. And I can use this r in this equation just so everything is in terms of theta. And so I can get my answer. 2 plus theta, and this is square, equals 12. Okay. And this is theta multiplied by 100 equals 12 multiplied by, I will take this 2 plus theta square to the other side. This is 100 theta equals 12 into 2. Okay, I cannot do 12 into 2. I need to first open this up. So this will become 4, like a square plus 2ab, that would be 4 theta plus theta square. Did you understand this?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yes. 100 theta equals 48 plus 48 theta plus 12 theta square. Okay, now I can just do it this way. 0 equals 12 theta square minus 48 theta minus 100 theta will give us minus 52 theta
Yes.
plus 48. Okay, now I have this thing, so I can just rewrite this as
3 theta
yes,
minus
and
30.
yeah, but I need to take 4 common, and then I will get 3 theta square minus 13 theta plus 48 equals 0, and obviously that is equal to this, right? I can take 4 to the other side. So we have shown this. Did you
Yes.
understand this?
Yes, miss.
Okay. And this is the second part. Find the possible values of r and theta. This is easy because we can directly use this equation to find theta. Once we have our theta, we have this equation to find r. So let's do that. We have 3 theta square minus 13 theta plus 48 equals 0. And how do we find theta? Okay.
Hello, yeah,
So
yeah. We just
this should be this should be 12. Sorry, when I have taken 4 common, this should be 12. This is why I was wondering that why is it so weird. Okay. So this is 12. This should be 12. Okay. Now think of two numbers such that when you multiply them, you get 36 theta square. And when you add them, you get minus 13 theta. So 9 and 4, right?
yes, yes, -9 and -4.
Very good. Okay, so
Yeah.
I can take 3 theta common, theta minus 3, minus 4 common, theta minus 3. These two are same. We are going in the right direction. 3 theta minus 4 is a factor, and theta minus 3 is a factor. And this implies that theta is 4 by 3 and theta is 3. Okay, right. Now the question was to find theta and r. Once we got our theta, we need to use this equation. R equals 10 by 2 plus theta to find r. So using this theta first, I will get r equals 10 by 2 plus 4 by 3. And this will give me r equals 3. And if I use theta equals 3, this one, I will get 2 plus 3, 5, and this implies r would be 2. So I am getting this, and I am getting r equals 2 for theta equals 3. So did you understand this?
Yes, miss. Could you explain how you got the three?
Please repeat your question.
Could you just go down for a second?
Yeah, sure, sure.
When you calculated 10 over 2 plus 4 over 3, how did you get the 3 quickly? Or did you put in the calculator?
Yeah. Yes. Just check that. It should be r equals 3.
Yeah, I know. Did you do it mentally or did you do it in the calculator?
Yeah, I did that on calculator, obviously.
Oh, okay. I thought you did. That's okay.
Yeah, okay. Like you can do it mentally as well. That should not be an issue. Do you want me to do it mentally?
No, like you did it quick so fast, so I thought you did it
Okay.
mentally. So I was
Yeah,
gonna
no,
ask how you did
actually
it.
before teaching, I make my notes. So I use the calculator for all the calculations just so I'm able to do things quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Okay. So is this understood?
Yes, it is understood.
Okay. So let's talk about the 11th question. Okay. A part is on the diagram 1, sketch the graphs of, okay, let's talk about this graph, y equals x into 3 minus x. Okay, so how do you sketch such graphs? It is y
So
equals x,
usually
3 minus x. So we need to sketch y equals x, 3 minus x. So one thing is clear that it would be a parabola, right? Because if I expand it, I am going to get x squared. This
yes,
equals
yes.
3x minus x squared. So this is going to be a parabola. And let's talk about the shape first. Like, would it be this type of a parabola or this type of a parabola?
It would be
It would be
like a U.
like a U or other way around. Think
No,
about
like a
this.
U. Oh, sorry, like the other one, the sad one.
Because we have minus x squared, right?
Yes.
So this means that it would be other way around. Okay, very good. Okay, this is good. So it would be of this shape. Okay, and whenever we are plotting a parabola, what other things do we need to keep in our mind that
The x-intercepts.
yes, okay. So when we talk about x-intercept, we need to think of values of x when y is 0. So if I put 0 here, I am going to get this thing. I have two factors being multiplied equal to 0. How do I interpret this? That x would be 0 and 3 minus x would be 0, and this implies x would be 3, right?
Yes.
So this would be a point, and then x equals 3 would be a point, and it would be another way around type of a u. So this should be the curve of y equals x 3 minus x, right? Any questions?
No, miss.
Okay, let's talk about the other one now. So this is the second one. Y equals x into x minus 2 into 5 minus x. Okay, so it is y equals x into x minus 2 into 5 minus x. Okay, so we have three factors. This means that it would be a cubic curve. Do you know how to plot cubic curves?
Yes, miss.
Okay, and this particularly is minus x cube, right? Because x into x is x square, and x square into minus x will give us minus x cube. So it is negative cubic, right?
Yes.
So, okay.
It will be
So if it
down and
is,
down.
yeah, it would be something of this type, right?
Yes.
Okay, but what exactly? Again, the roots or the intercepts of x are x equals 0, x
X
equals
equals
2,
2
and
and x equals 5.
very good. So 0, and then we have, if this is 3, then this would be 2, this is 3, this should be 4, and this should be 5. So it would be a sketch of this type, right? Okay, now again, the question was to sketch. The question was to sketch. So obviously it could be that you are getting this, or it could be that someone makes it this type of a thing, right? This should not matter because the basic concept is clear, that it is for minus x cube and these should be the x intercepts, right? Obviously, every student is going to make it in a different way because they did not give you a proper, grade and stuff like that. So is this okay?
Yes.
So this is for y equals x minus 2, 5 minus x. Okay, so
Minus x.
yes. Okay, now this graph is very important because we will be using this in other parts. Okay, so this and this is clear. Let's talk about the B1, the B part. Okay, show that the x coordinates of the points of intersection of this and this are given by the solutions to the equation this. Okay, forget about the graph. Let's talk about the second part. Now we have two equations and they are talking about the points of intersection. So they are saying show that the x coordinates of the points of intersection are given by the solutions to the equation this. So we know that we can just solve these two equations simultaneously and there would be a point when we come across this type of an equation, right?
Yes.
And how do we solve things simultaneously? By simply equating, because this is y and this is y. So I will just simply equate, right?
Yes.
So this would
Miss, can you
be,
hear me?
yes, yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, okay.
So this would be y equals y. So 1y is x into 3 minus x. And the other one is x into x minus 2, 5 minus x.
Minus
Okay.
x.
Okay, and never ever try canceling this x with x. Why? Because although you can, but the thing is that you will you will basically convert a cubic equation to quadratic equation then, and you will get correct roots, but you will not get every root, right? So the fact that we have x here means that this should be a cubic equation. And if I cancel out these two x's, I will not be having anything cubic. I will have a quadratic equation, right? So
Yes.
I need to multiply it. 3x minus x square equals x square minus 2 x, and then we have another factor, that is 5 minus x. Then I have 3x minus x square equals 5x square minus
X cubed.
x cube minus 10x plus 2x square. Okay. Now we need to simplify things. So in order to simplify, I can take everything to the right side. 0 equals minus x cube plus 5x square plus 2x square plus x square, this x square, then minus 10x and minus 3x. 0 equals minus x cube plus 8x square minus 13x. Okay, now I have x multiplied by something. This means that I need to take minus x common, and I will have x square minus 8x plus 13. And obviously, I can rewrite it as x into x square minus 8x plus 13 equals 0. So I need to rub this extra bracket, and this should be the case, right? Did you understand this?
Yes, yes.
It's clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
My mic is just.
Okay. So this is the third part. The point P. Now there's a point P that lies on both curves. Which both curves? The curve which we plotted on diagram 1. Okay. Given that P lies in the x coordinate. Now, Mikal, this should be clear that if P lies on both curves, it means that it would be basically a point that is being shared, right? So it would be an intersecting point, and it is in the first quadrant. So what do you think about it?
It's going to be a positive x value and positive y value.
Very good. And which value exactly? Like, can you particularly or specifically tell me any value on the graph?
The one over there, the one that intersects at 2, 3.
This one?
Like, yes, that one.
Very good. Excellent. Okay. Because if it is being shared by two, both the graphs, it would be an intersecting point. It is on the in the first quadrant, so that is the only option. Okay. And how do we find that? How do we find that? So we need to find
Solve
using
the.
algebra. Yes. Solve what? Solve this, right? And
Yes.
this will give us x equals 0. We are not interested in that. X square minus 8x plus 13 equals 0. Okay, so we are interested in this. Since 13 is a prime number, we cannot make factors and then think about it. So let's just directly use the quadratic formula. A is 1, B is minus 8, and C is 13. The formula is x equals minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Let's just insert the values. X would be 8 plus minus under root 64 minus 4 into 13 divided by 2. And if you find these values on calculator, you will get x equals 4 plus under root 3 and x equals 4 minus under root 3. Now, which is the value, Mikal? Which value should we pick up? We are getting two values. Like, in fact, we are getting three values. X equals 0 was also a value. So what value are we interested in exactly? We are interested in this x coordinate. So it is not x equals 0, and it is not x equals 4 plus under root 3. Sorry, wait a second. Obviously, it is not this one. If I draw it properly, I can just draw it this way. It will go on like this. And this curve right here, let me just redraw it, because only then you would be able to see the third point. Because obviously, if you're getting a third intersection point, it means that there would be 3 intersection points, right? So it would
Yes.
be from here to here, and then it's going down like that. So this is obviously 5. So this is also an intersection point. But we are only interested in the point which is in the first quadrant, that is this one, okay? So x equals 4 plus under root 3 is the x coordinate of this point, right?
Yes.
So if it is not x equals 0, if it is not x equals 4 plus under root 3, it would be x equals 4 minus under root 3, because that is the x coordinate of this point. So it is x equals 4 minus under root 3. And what was the question? The question was to find the exact coordinates of p, So we need y value as well. In order to find y, you can either use this or this, any of the equations. Let's use the simple one. Let's use y equals x, 3 minus x. So if we substitute the value of x, we will get y as minus 7 plus 5 under root 3. So did you understand this question completely?
Yes, I did, miss.
Okay, perfect. So let's talk about the last question. Okay. This is the 12th question and the last question of this paper. So let me zoom in a bit. The curve with equation y equals f of x with x greater than 0 passes through the point this. Okay. Given that dy by dx equals 3x under root x minus 10x to the minus 1 by 2. Find the equation of the tangent to the curve at P. Okay, just stop. In order to find the equation of tangent, we know that it would be an equation of straight line in this form. Even if they wouldn't have told us, this should still be understood that equation of any tangent is just like equation of any straight line. That is y equals mx plus c. And in order to find this equation, we need two things. We need m and we need c. So m is what? M is basically dy by dx, right? And in order to find the exact value, we will use this point because we are interested in finding out the tangent at point P. So we want the gradient at point P. So gradient at point P would be calculated by dy by dx at point P, 4 minus 2. So let's do that. M would be 3 into 3. Under root 4 would be 2 minus 10 by under root 6, that under root x, that is 4, so it would be 2, and this is 9 into this. This is 4. Sorry. This is 4. So it would be 24 minus 5, that is 19. So did you understand that why I'm finding m and how I'm finding m?
Yes, I did.
Sorry?
Yes, I understood.
Okay. Right. So this is m. I got m. I need c. In order to find c, I have this point and I have m equals 19. So I will use y equals 19x plus c and the point 4 minus 2. So y is minus 2 and x is 4 plus c. So c is turning out to be minus 78. Now I have m and c. I just need to rewrite everything with the exact values. 19x minus 78, and this is the equation of tangent at the point P, right? Okay. So this should be clear. And the next question is find f of x. So how do we find f of x, Mikal?
Integrate.
Very good. Okay, so whenever we integrate the derivative with respect to x on both sides, this will give us y, and this we need to solve. Okay, so let's integrate this. Okay, so we have dy by dx equals 3x under root x minus 10 x to the minus 1 by 2. Let's just write it in a more simplified version just so we can integrate it easily. Okay, x into under root x will give me what? When bases are same, I can write it as x multiplied by x to the power 1 by 2 minus
Yes.
10 x to the minus 1 by 2. Again, when bases are same and they are being multiplied, we add up the powers with one base. So it would be 1 plus 1 by 2. I'm doing this just so I am easily able to integrate this function. And this will give me
Yeah.
3x to the 3 by 2 minus 10 x to the minus 1 by 2. Okay, now this is my dy by dx. In order to find my function f of x or y, since y equals f of x, it is the same thing. I need to integrate both sides of my derivative with respect to x. So this will give me, I can just do it this way. So integration of 1 with respect to y will be y equals, and now I can integrate it. So it is 3 x to the power 3 by 2 is 1.5. 1.5 plus 1 is 5 by 2. It is 5 by 2. I need to divide it by the same power, so I can multiply it by 2 by 5. Then I have minus 10 x to the power minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 will be 1 by 2. So I can multiply it by 2 plus c because I am integrating it. So finally I will get y equals 6 by 5 x to the power 5 by 2 minus 20 x to the power 1 by 2 plus c. And are we done, Mikal? Like, is this the answer?
Yes, I think so.
Yes, this could have been the answer, but since they want us to find f of x, when they give us question, they don't give us the question with constants, right? So we need to find the value of constant using this point, 4 and minus 2. Never ever forget that, right? So
Okay,
we
okay.
have the point 4 and minus 2. The value of y is minus
That's
2.
2 is equal to 6, 5, and then substitute the x.
Yes, it is 4, 5 by 2 minus 20. Under root 4 would be 2 plus c. Okay. So this will basically give me C as, just give me a second. Yep. This will give me C as minus 0.4, like you can just do everything. It would be minus 2 plus 40 minus 4 to the power 5 divided by 2 is 32. So you need to subtract 6 by 5 multiplied by 32. Let's just do it instead of writing it directly. Okay. And this will give me minus 2 plus 40 minus 38.4. That is minus 40.4 plus 40 equals C. So C is minus 0.4, right? So whatever we got
Yes.
from the first part, we just need to write the value of C. Y is 6 by 5, x to the power 5 by 2 minus 20, x to the 1 by 2 minus 0.4. Okay, so did you understand this question completely?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so we still have time. What should I like teach you? Any question which you want me to do again or stuff like that?
No, Miss.
Okay, let's have a look at all the questions which we have discussed today. Just so if something hits your mind, you can stop me and ask me. Did you understand this concept? Whenever you are finding the range in case of inequalities, the change of sign.
Yes, now I got it.
Okay. So, okay, that is pretty much it. This is what we have done. Wait, let me just stop the recording and then you can ask me.